Hello, my name is Adam Suleman, and today I will be presenting my recommendations for your business diet center. In terms of my background, my degree focuses on finance and management information systems. I am also an incoming business analyst with the government of Yukon and a former business analyst at TELUS. I have also worked as a teaching assistant for business process analysis at Simon Fraser University. The objective of this presentation is to provide you an ERP recommendation and implementation plan to improve your business operations, workflow, and decision making. Currently, the key issues that your business is experiencing include fragmented operations, late financial data and reports, high operation costs, unavailable inventory and stock level data, the inability to forecast sales and expenses, and the lack of data integration and control. The strategy that I propose includes utilizing a Noria ERP integration, using a project management office, a direct conversion, and using ADKAR change management. The impact of this strategy will improve data accuracy, data accessibility, and lower operation costs. Going into your business, there are three key components to the business. As you know, there is the dietetic clinic, the production kitchen, and your retail outlets. Currently, your business is interested in expanding its products and services while operating in a highly competitive business environment. However, there are 4 different software programs utilized to manage your business, and you are also observing late financial data and reports, unavailable inventory and stock level data, lack of data integration and control, and the inability to forecast sales and expenses. There are growth opportunities across the centralization of data, timelines, inventory management, and sales and expense forecasting. If you choose not to implement an ERP system, the best case scenario is that everything will remain the status quo, but the business will continue to remain inefficient and gaps in the data will remain. The likely case is that your business growth will be constrained and the bottom line will constantly be affected by higher operating costs. The worst case scenario is that inefficiencies will make DC less competitive in the long run, and it will lose its market leader position to other competitors. Let's first go into the analysis. At an analysis of the stakeholders, the key stakeholders identified are Mr. Jabri and you, your customers, your employees, and your suppliers. You desire an ERP system to consolidate operations, obtain financial data, generate more profitability, and facilitate forecasting. Your customers desire reliable weight management products, services, and programs. Your employees want adequate training, assured job stability, confidence in your company, appropriate workloads, and less manual work. Meanwhile, your suppliers desire a stronger relationship with your company, order consistency, and timely payments. The implementation of an ERP system will support all of that. The current system utilized by your company relies on 4 different software programs. The first is the Diet Clinic software that you use to track your client balances and store client information. The second is the Omega system that you use as the POS for your stores and to issue invoices. The third system is the HR system that you use to track employee data and calculate employee salaries. And the fourth system is the ABC system, which is primarily the financing and accounting system for your business. The ABC system is utilized to combine the data for the other 3 systems. However, it requires the manual integration of data from these 3 different systems in order to be used. This is the main problem. The system requirements that we have identified for a ERP system would include customer management, invoice and accounting management, inventory management, and employee management. On the other hand, non-functional requirements that we have identified for your business include security, integration, accessibility, and satisfying legal requirements. There are two ERP system options available for your company, which are SAP and Noria. To evaluate the options, I will break down the degree of features, support, reliability, target enterprise, projected return on investment, setup time, usage, price, and payment terms. Let's first examine SAP. It has extensive features, 24/7 basic support, a high reliability, it is targeted to the enterprises of all sizes, and it is expected to provide a return on investment in 6 years. The setup time is 18 months. It is used globally, but its cost is high, and indirect costs account for at least $50,000. The payment terms are flexible due to your contact with SAP, and the cost is approximated to be 10% of your company's yearly sales. On the other hand, Noria has many features. It provides 24/7 moderate support, it has a high reliability, and its target enterprise is medium-sized. In addition, the ROI is expected to be received in 4 years, and the setup time is less than a year at 11 months. It is popularly used in the Middle East, and it is a low-cost option that will provide standard payment terms. It is also important to look at the costs when deciding which system to use for your business. SAP will come to $247,540 initially, whereas Noria will come to $120,000. The direct costs with SAP are broken down into professional users that will be using the system with advanced features, and limited users that will still be able to access the system but with reduced features. Each license costs $3,213 for a professional license with SAP, and we estimate 20 employees, mainly functional managers, will be using a professional license with the system, whereas limited users will be the rest of your employees, about 80 right now, and each license for that will be $1,666. Indirect costs will be a minimum of $50,000, but this could be even higher as the project is carried out and is implemented. On the other hand, Noria charges professional users $1,500 per license, and again there would be 20 users, and limited users, the cost for each license for that is $900 times 80 users, and indirect costs of substantially less, $18,000, results in a total cost of $120,000. Looking at the cost-benefit analysis, we understand that indirect costs with SAP are a minimum of $50,000. The economic return could be negatively impacted by the instability in Lebanon, the political instability that is contributing significantly to the economic troubles. In addition, there could be hidden or extra costs such as training, consultants, or auditor expenses. The setup costs could be for 18 or whatever duration of the setup, and employee workload would be another cost that will be observed if there is some sort of overlap between the two systems. And there are software costs, personnel costs, upgrade and maintenance costs, and costs associated with potential employee resistance, as well as costs associated with the loss of data during a migration of systems. On the other hand, benefits include increased organizational efficiency that would occur through the centralization of your data. There would be a reduction in the overall cost and efficiency by at least 10% with SAP and around the same area with Noria. There would also be improved strategic decision making that would occur through the utilization of an ERP system. And if you choose Noria, then there would be the added familiarity of working within Middle Eastern markets. Noria is also a low-cost solution that would be a benefit for your company, and either ERP solution will reduce any cash drain or other losses incurred by your business, and it will also systematize all of your business's operations. The evaluation criteria used to determine the best ERP system for your company were cost effectiveness, sustainability, ease of implementation, efficiency, and data centralization. The most weight, 25%, was placed on cost effectiveness due to instability in Lebanon affecting your business and consumer demand, followed by implementation ease, efficiency, and centralization at 20%. Sustainability was weighted at 15%, and altogether the weighting equals 100%. The systems that scored high in each criteria were assigned a 3, whereas the systems that scored low in a particular criteria received a 1. Both SAP and Noria ranked high across sustainability, efficiency, and data centralization. For cost effectiveness and implementation ease, SAP scored low and Noria scored high. As such, I recommend that you use Noria as the solution for as the ERP solution for your company. The recommendations for your business are broken down into technical, organizational, and economical. The reasons for recommending Noria instead of SAP are due to 3 major criteria: the macroeconomic situation in Lebanon, the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats faced by Diet Center, and the cost effectiveness of SAP versus Noria. Due to the instability in Lebanon, I recommend using Noria, and because of the economy slowing down and the additional expenses that you have, particularly the $2 million in debt to finance a property expansion, it is particularly important to ensure that you do not burden your company. Further, using Noria, which is a locally developed product, employees might become more familiar with it and accept it more easily than with another solution like SAP. The lower cost and easier transition means that there is a lower risk with using this system, and there are greater benefits too. In addition, there are many features with Noria, and this is one of the reasons that Noria should be utilized by Diet Center. In terms of organizational recommendations, I recommend that you establish a project management office and hire staff to work within that office, and that you provide interactive training sessions to your employees. Using a project management office will result in vision and direction for the project execution. There will be a control of the scope, costs, and scheduling, and there will be a particular team dedicated to working with the risks and dealing with the risks, and there will be a better likelihood of increased success if you use a project management office. The training will increase productivity and reduce the amount of human error with the utilization of the new system. The third and final recommendation are economic recommendations. Using Noria, you will be able to reduce operation costs, salary expenses, and waste. In particular, you will be able to achieve this through better employee and job management and the reduction of waste such as water and food expenses and even material costs. As part of this recommendation, I encourage you to establish a project management office. Currently, within your organization, the functional manager is broken down into accounting and human resources, information technology, work along the same level as your clinical dietitian and your research and development teams. I urge you to incorporate a project manager at this level, and below them there would be the Noria representative that can work in tandem with them, as well as the staff that work with Noria. And within your company, you can also include an IT project manager and your various consultants to support this project. Through the establishment of a project management office, you will be able to improve the selection of your projects, you will be able to stay on time and within budget, and you will be able to increase the number of projects completed within your stated budgets. The key responsibilities of the project management office will be to select the right projects, to standardize processes, and create a repository of project information. There will be a 4-step process to implementing and creating a project management office. The first begins with creating the business case. The second is to assign strong leadership. The third is to create a project charter. And the fourth will be to follow a project life cycle. Here you can see the Noria user interface. Noria offers you the ability to work on a tablet as well as to work on a desktop. On the left you can see it's very user-friendly, and the tablet option may be ideal for some of your employees that are working on the site that don't have a computer accessible, or maybe a computer may not be the best option if a particular manager or employee is moving around and busy on the site of the production kitchen or the clinic or your retail stores. And the desktop option is ideal for any other managers that are working within an office. As you can see, the system is very clear, it is organized very well, and the system is user-friendly and designed for user accessibility. With regards to the implementation, the conversion strategy that I have chosen is the conversion style is direct, and the conversion location will be to pilot, and the conversion modules will be the whole system. In return, we will be able to save money, save time to roll out this new system. However, there is the added risk of that comes with this sort of conversion strategy. For the implementation of this project, I have identified 6 key implementation milestones. The first is initial system setup. The second is system customization. The third is data migration. The fourth is testing. The fifth is trial phase and internal training. And the sixth and final milestone is deployment. The implementation timeline consists of a 2-month initial system setup between December 2014 and February 2015. The system customization will take place between January 2015 and March 2015 for a total of 2 months. The data migration process will also take 2 months, from the beginning of February until the end of March, early April, and the testing will take place for 2.5 months, followed by a 6-month period of trial and internal training within the organization. Finally, the deployment will be able to take place in early October. There are also risks and mitigation strategies associated with implementing the NORIA system within your organization. The main risk that I have identified is data migration. This is when there could be issues porting data to the new system, and this could slow implementation and cause confusion among employees. To mitigate this, I encourage you to allocate resources in the planning phase to correct the existing data and to ensure data integrity. The second risk that I have identified is also of high likelihood, but a moderate impact, and this is staff resistance. And this could mean staff may resist the new system because they do not have the skills or the knowledge to use it. And to mitigate this risk, I suggest forming a change management team to train the employees and to incentivize change adoption. The third risk that I have identified is of high impact but moderate likelihood, and this is the project running over budget. And so in particular, this is the risk that the project could run over budget and that the costs are greater than the benefits. And to mitigate this risk, I encourage you to establish a project management office to manage the project and to carry out testing throughout the implementation. So as part of a mitigation strategy, change management would be adopted by the project management office, and in particular we would use the ADCAR change management strategy. In the first stage, the project management office would support you with explaining the reasoning and providing an announcement to employees company-wide. The second part, which is desire, will involve your employees' reaction and the project management office being able to show the benefits of such a change. And at the same time, managers and project management office employees will be there to provide active and visible support to the rest of your employees and managers. And the knowledge step is where there would be training and coaching throughout the change, and there would be resources available for reference for your employees in order to learn how to use the new system. And ability would involve hands-on instruction and monitor performance, which would be done by your managers. And finally, reinforcement, which is really important. The managers would be there to provide feedback and reward strong performance and recognize those that are effectively using the new system, and also celebrating the success of the employees that are using this new system. The impact of using change management would result in the minimizing of change-related issues, examining elements of successful transitions, user acceptance, and assessing the impact of changes on all stakeholders. Implementing a change management process will ultimately support the organizational transition to NORIA and maximize change adoption and user buy-in. To measure the success of the NORIA system, I recommend that you look at the changes in operation costs, change in salary expenditure, data accuracy, data retrieval time, and waste reduction. With regards to operation costs, I believe there will be a reduction in the operation costs and inefficiencies, and in particular there will be a reduction in operation costs from 15 to 20% after 1 year. And with regards to food costs, I believe that will account for 15 to 20% instead of 28 to 34%. For salary expenditure, I believe there will be a reduction in the number of employees staffed by your company and the amount of overtime hours billed. In addition, The salary expenditure will account for 25% of sales after 1 year instead of the current 30%. And with data accuracy, I believe we can aim for a 75% goal over time. With regards to data retrieval time, I believe we can increase the speed of retrieving data by 80% compared to the existing system. In addition, we can improve retrieval time by obtaining survey feedback from staff. And fifth and finally, waste reduction. We can reduce the waste of food and material and water by 15% with the new system. At the same time, we'll be simultaneously reducing operation costs. Altogether, the objective of this presentation was to provide you an ERP recommendation and implementation plan to improve your business operations, workflow, and decision-making. I identified the key issues within your business, included fragmented operations, late financial data and reports, high operation costs, unavailable inventory and stock level data, as well as the inability to forecast sales and expenses, which is critical for your business, and there is also a lack of data integration and control. The strategy that I propose is the integration of a Noria ERP system, and through the utilization of a project management office, direct conversion strategy, and change management process, you can effectively carry out this implementation. The impact of this will result in increased data accuracy, better data accessibility, and lower operation costs. Thank you. I understand that you recently read the HBR article, IT Doesn't Matter by Nick Carr, and that you are troubled by it. In response to your concerns, I will say that IT is still important for an organization, even if it does not provide an immediate competitive advantage or strategic potential, like it has in the past for some organizations. For you, I believe IT will enable your business to reduce costs, centralize data, and improve efficiency, which are essential to being profitable, scalable, and a market leader. There could likely be a cheaper ERP system solution that will better support your business in the future. Like science, IT is evolving, but choosing Noria as your ERP solution follows the advice provided by Carr. In particular, you'll be spending less, following and not leading, and focusing on your vulnerabilities. In response to your second question, if you decide not to acquire an ERP at this point, the alternatives that I recommend are to purchase modules to use on your existing system, which is also called the best of breed environment. The second alternative is to adjust your current processes to make it more efficient. And the third alternative is to use an enterprise application integration server, which will use layers of software to bridge the different functional systems currently used by your company. Given what I know now, what changes do I recommend? If the company's size grows significantly and the economic conditions are better, then SAP might be a better solution for your company. Otherwise, I believe Diet Center should continue to use Noria. If there are other options available, I would investigate that, and this might potentially change my recommendation to you, because it is important to evaluate the different solutions and not to make an impulsive decision. Finally, the concluding remarks and thoughts that I have on this case is that it would be beneficial to have income statements, sales revenue information, and current employee management information to provide the best targeted response to Diet Center. Further, Noria's pricing has been estimated for this presentation, but it is important to look at the actual Noria pricing when evaluating this project. This project was interesting and thought-provoking, and I appreciate that you provided me this case. Thank you.